Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks
Guys.
so very much for joining us today. Obviously, we have our Wednesday lives with the amazing MeghansMole. Hello, Molly.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I was I was showing you the pineapple before we got here, right? Like this
Mhm.
pineapple. Let me show it to the guys,
Show them. It is incredible. Like, look at that. That is amazing. I can't believe you grow that. That is so crazy. Like,
I want to send you a video how what they look like on the field, but I
oh,
wish
my
you
little
could
one would
smell it.
love that.
Yeah, I wish you could smell it. It's so fresh. We just cut it.
Mhm.
So it's really, really yummy. Molly, I have been, I, like you know that I stalk you on WhatsApp, right? On X,
Mhm.
right? So I saw your video of the Foo Fighters because I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan, right? And
Yeah.
then when that guy was talking about what Harry did to him,
Yeah. Taylor Hawkins. You can play it. Play the clip
yeah,
if.
yeah, I am going to, I'm just going to get, I was just, Molly, I kid you not, and I'm not being dramatic and BS.
Mhm.
I just thought, and I did the Royal News Flash Day, and we talked about it. I said that you found it and stuff like that, and um, I'm like, how the bodyguards were there to ensure that they didn't hit him back,
Mhm.
and basically
Always
that
protected. He's
is
always
that right?
protected.
Is
He's
that
always
right?
protected. Yeah, of course. Of course. Harry went around. I know we're only 2 minutes in, so I don't want to get this video demonetized, right? But Harry was going around smacking people like he mentioned in this video. I mean, it just shows you his level of entitlement and that he was going around behaving in whatever manner he always wanted to behave in, and he never faced any repercussions for his behavior because of
We have
who
hung
he
out with him
was.
before.
Because of who he was. I mean, this after I watched this video and everything that's coming to light with Harry and stuff, it just further tells me that Harry, despite whatever people say about Andrew, I don't like Prince Andrew either, I should say that, but Harry is more of a disgusting deviant than Prince Andrew ever has been painted as. I think Harry is much worse because look at his behavior. Like, play this video. Play this so people can see what
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said,
I am
and then
going
we'll
to.
talk about it after.
Yeah.
We have hung out with him before.
Really? And what do you guys do?
Taylor in the face one time. How hard was that smack in the face?
Pissed me off, actually.
Why, you didn't bow to him or something? What happened? You didn't bow?
We literally were doing something similar to this, but not similar to this. We were playing somewhere in England, and we had just flown over, and I literally had like 2 hours sleep, and we were doing a show in some ambassador's backyard or something. And he walked in, Harry, and a bunch of his people around him, and he goes, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "I can't wake up. So tired. I gotta play. I can't wake up." He just goes,
What the?
and I went, "You mother." And then it's like two guys are like right there, and he's like, "You awake now?" or something like that. I'm like, "Yeah."
Are you hanging with Prince Harry? What is that?
That is not hanging with Prince Harry. Prince Harry assaulted him. There's a word for it. That is a
Yeah.
criminal thing what Harry did to him.
Yeah.
I've been look and this guy, and I love the Foo Fighters, and this guy is dead, isn't it, Taylor?
Mm-hmm. Taylor Hawkins. Yeah, he's
Why
passed
are
away.
they saying that Harry was hanging out with him? That's not hanging out with him. These
No.
people were there hired, and you know what is the worst part of it all? I am so angry about this, Molly, is that it wasn't public. This man was going around humiliating and assaulting people in public because this
Yeah.
was witnessed by everybody who was at that ambassador's place. And
Mm-hmm.
he was going around. If he did this to a well-known celebrity, can you imagine what he would do to regular people?
Oh, of course. Well, there was that whole thing about I always mispronounce his name, but the Duke of Beaufort. And he had written about how Oh, there's an echo because of copyright and stuff so that the video doesn't get struck down. But yeah, we have to make it echo. But basically, the Duke of Beaufort had said that Prince Harry had basically walked over and invited himself to a party that they were throwing because they lived right down the road from Highgrove at the time. And Harry was basically picking up these girls that were dressed nicely at this birthday party and throwing them into the fountain with their gowns on. Now think about it. When these kinds of like heavy dresses get wet, those get heavy. Those can cause a person to drown. You could have caused some serious implications or damages there by doing what you were doing. And nobody stopped Harry until one of the butlers popped in and told him, that's enough, stop it. I mean, and then, yeah, as Sleepless in America says, he also was warned about his polo pony, who was pregnant at the time, not to ride him. That pony ended up having a heart attack and passed away, and so did its unborn foal. Harry is more of a deviant. Like, I've always said that the royal family have always covered for his actions. People want to, like, I say Andrew is an idiot because he's a bad judge of character. He hangs around shady individuals. He doesn't know how to decipher a good person from a bad person. He likes going and hanging out with the scum because that's his level. That's the sort of people he gets along with, despite him being a prince. But Harry's on a different level.
He is the bad guy. He doesn't hang with bad guys. He is the bad guy, Molly.
Harry is the only one we have always heard whispers of him getting too aggressive with women. We hear stories from people about him putting his hands on them. I made a video showing Harry going around and touching men inappropriately without their consent, just doing this for how many years on end. This is a predator. This is a person who's allowed to go around, do whatever they want because they think, oh, I'm the king's son. What he's doing is wrong.
You know, which leads me to think, because I was thinking about this, Molly, because the guy says, I can guarantee you that if it had been any other person and he comes and because he smacked him hard. He slapped him hard. Yeah. If it had been any other person, this man would have punched his face. But because immediately Harry's bodyguards, who are used to that kind of behavior, immediately stood right next to him, like saying, try it, buddy. Try it, buddy. Yeah. You know, it's like, and I can guarantee you that there were no, if he had hit Harry, like Harry hit him, he would have ended up in jail or something like that for attacking him. Harry comes up and he does that. I mean, and you know what? And I talked about it this morning, Molly, that because people give him a pass. Oh, was he drunk? No. Absolutely no. There's no pass for this idiot, because the subsequent thing that he said afterwards, are you awake now? You know, and that he went and to me, it's like a guy who's used to doing this all.
Yeah, he's done it before. Because your first reaction when someone says I'm sleepy is not to slap someone.
And it wasn't just like, hey, buddy, you know, like anything like that. It was like a slap.
It was a full-on slap on the face. Yeah. Like that, a person's first reaction is not to do that. So it's not the first time Harry has done that. But then again, Harry also said in his book, in his own words, that he would smack around his bodyguards because he knew they couldn't touch him.
He's a coward. I really can't stand it. And you know what? I'm glad that this is coming out, because I've gotten so trashed on my channel whenever I spoke against Harry. And I said, he is an idiot. He is abusive. I believe he is a bully. And this is why I said that with his other two relationships didn't work out. Not because, the other girls didn't want to be part of the royal, because they already knew who Harry was. You know, for example, Molly, if you start dating a guy and you don't know who he is, but then you find out who it is and what comes attached to him, would you waste time on him like 8 years like Chelsea did? Of course not. You know, and the same thing with Cressida. Cressida was even worse because Cressida was part of the aristocracy, the group. She grew around all of that. You know,
Girl, I always said the fact that Prince Harry was a prince and none of the aristocratic women or anyone wanted anything to do with him, that was a huge red flag. Prince Harry was in his 30s and nobody wanted to marry him. That tells you there's something wrong with him.
Well, kind of Cressida left a very cryptic, not so cryptic tweet when she said that people can be nasty. Remember when she she said something like that, and it's like, but I was shocked when I saw that video, that because I saw it in your chat and I've been talking about it, but I wanted to wait and actually show it with you because I was like, I wonder if this is why they don't want to show his visa, because do you know how they say that there are a lot of documents that are police thing?
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge said, well, what do you mean that there could be police? Because why else would there be anything else like that?
Oh, you saw me talk about that, right? The fact that
Yeah.
they referred to that case law.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Harry's visa and why they were. Well, that's exactly why. Why would you refer to another case law that had something to do with SA and say that, oh, well, if it was mentioned about Harry's, it would bring bad stigma. It would be like a horrible stigma. Well, the only reason a case law would be mentioned in another case was because they're similar. It's because they're similar. So obviously Harry is the only royal that we have always heard whispers about him getting very aggressive with women in the bedroom or very sexually like crazy, like do wild things, right? But I've always, okay, this is just my opinion, but we always see how Harry is very handsy with men and how aggressive he is with women, right? So part of me feels like, is Harry like a closet, still in the closet and worried about like the fact that he's more interested in men than women? Because I have never seen Harry be handsy with the way that he is with men with Meghan, ever.
Absolutely, Molly.
Yeah, like I've only ever seen Harry that one time when they were on a royal tour and they were getting into the plane and Harry gave her a tap on the ass. That's the only time. But with men, you always see Harry with his hands in the middle of their legs, on their thighs, grabbing their nipples. I have never seen him be this handsy towards women. So what does that tell you? But he's always been aggressive towards women.
Not even towards Meghan. He's never been that handsy towards that woman.
No, never. You don't see him ever like showing any actual love towards her. Right? It's the typical like, okay, his hand is on her back and stuff like whatever, but he looks zoned out most of the time. High to the heavens.
No, I'm serious. Like I'm not joking here, guys. I really am not joking here, because I was thinking, like he's never handsy with her. Oh, and then the way she's looking at him is like, it is absolutely disgusting. I gotta tell you, I still, I've been thinking about this thing about the slap he did to the Foo Fighters, and I love that band. And it's like, why would, and this guy, guys, I just gotta preface with this. It is a very, very chill back. This drummer, may he rest in peace, was known for being very chill.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see him say those things, you can see he's angry. And when he says he slapped me, he's not like he didn't poke me. It's like you can see that he goes like, clearly it was a big slap.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is the absolute like backflips that the Sussex Squad were doing, trying to say that, oh no, it was just a friendly smack. It was just a friendly thing. Oh yeah? Okay, well, how about I come around and I slap you in the face and you tell me how friendly it is. And you tell me that you won't have a reaction and think that it is assault, which is what it is. If someone comes and slaps you in the face, you're going to get pissed.
Can you imagine if somebody did that to Harry? It would be assaulted, be worldwide news. The prince slapped in the face, assaulted.
Yeah. But then that just goes to my point that Harry has always been coddled, has always been looked after. I mean, that could easily have been a lawsuit. You put your hands on me to wake me up, I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. But we can move on. We can talk about this baby, this poor baby looking for a titty to suckle on and realizes it's not its mommy's tit. Because that's what it is, right?
For a moment, I thought it was a doll, No.
That was the pretend Archie. Or who knows who that child was, who that child belonged to. Because look, it goes for a nuzzle, for a breast, it's hungry, and it whips its head back. It probably smells like BO, bad breath, and ganja stink. I don't know.
Yeah, because Meghan doesn't know how to hold her.
She doesn't. No, she definitely doesn't. And Harry doesn't look too bothered. And to all the ladies, can you go back?
He's not even paying attention to the little kid, you know? It's like, I don't even know. Oh, I'm doing stuff about this for sure, you know? But this is really weird, you know, like.
Play that. It's wild. It's wild. Do you just go around sniffing fingers? Play from the beginning.
All right, let's do an awkward pause and get you out of here.
He did it for sure. You know, she's just can't girl. I can say she's.
Pause that for a second. I cannot believe that she did not catch on to what Craig Ferguson was doing there. Do you not understand the implication?
I understood that. I understood.
The man, he's like, my finger smells. Now, usually, why would your finger smell? 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, maybe? I mean, and the fact that, I'm sorry, but the fact that she didn't even hesitate to smell, it just shows how low class and how gross you are, in my opinion. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know these photos that I
posted? I remember these photos. It was a huge scandal about Jack Brooksbank that got caught on that boat taking pictures with the models. Remember?
The photos were taken by Backgrid too. So the story behind these photos is that allegedly it is said that Meghan Markle set this up so that Jack was caught in these photos and she had them leaked. And this was just days, like a couple of weeks after Eugenie gave birth to her first one. Could you imagine? Like,
I remember those pictures. I remember there was a huge scandal about it.
Huge scandal. He was pulled out of his job and had to get sent to, they went to Portugal to go live as a family, right?
I remember that. I remember that time. I'm like, you know what this reminded me of when Mike Tyndall got caught in Australia? Remember that scandal with Zara?
Yeah, I remember that.
Chatting up that girl, and it was like apparently he really chatted her up. And then Zara had to fly all the way to Australia or something like that. And it was like they were not happy and stuff like that. But this is pretty much, I remember this scandal. And I'm like, and the girl, and they try to justify, it was a model shoot for, I think, tequila, because he was working for Tequila Amigos.
Casamigos at the time.
Casamigos. Yes. Of course. I want to show you something, Malu, because I thought I found this thing and I thought it was hilarious that we could talk about it. You know, like we're gonna. Oh, I just want to show something before we start with that. I'm still upset. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm still upset about that thing with the Foo Fighters.
Well, that just shows his character. Ugh. What about it?
Do you think that's why Harry doesn't even touch her?
I don't know, but we all saw the photos of her nipples on Google. They're nice and long, so there is something for him to grab if he wanted to.
Because this is just so gross. And you know what?
It's no respect for herself. She has zero respect for herself, because if Meghan Markle had some sort of respect for herself, she wouldn't be dressing up like this or presenting herself in such a cheap manner. Like, you think just because you're wearing a $1,500, what was this, $3,000 dress, something stupid like that. You think just because you're wearing a $3,000 dress and an arm full of like goodies, you think that you look classy? You don't look classy. I mean, I hate to say this, but even the cheap hookers on Sunset Boulevard are dressed better than Meghan when she was in Nigeria.
I mean, and you know what? It's really funny because you know how the Sussex Squad we're always trashing Princess Catherine for being so thin, and yet they're very quiet about this. How Meghan was a healthy looking woman, whereas Catherine was a stick anorexic and all kinds of things. Do you remember that?
Well, that's why I call Meghan Miss Skeletor body now. I mean, they had no problems calling Catherine a skeleton. Well, check out your Skeletor here. Your Skeletor with horse teeth. Like,
And showing
and a
her
bubble.
sternum all the way through, because all she's doing is showing the sternum. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
she's trying to, I think she's trying to get people to get like a eating disorder, like gossip going or something like that. Like we're supposed to care about her. Like we're supposed to be worried about her. Because she always thinks she's like Diana, right? So Diana had her eating disorder. Okay, well, Meghan has now dropped a lot of weight, and now something could be wrong with her, and blah, 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 all that shit.
Yeah, but let's not forget that if he's putting that narrative, remember that Princess Diana said that she had it because she was in a loveless, cruel marriage.
Yeah.
This woman, Harry's making it hard for her because, he left everything for her. So it's going to be very difficult for her to sell that narrative.
No. Meghan says she gave up everything for Harry. Remember? Meghan says she gave up.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
She gave up her movie roles for Harry. She left it all behind for Harry, right?
And talking about that, that's actually perfect for what I'm going to show you here, Molly, because this is really funny. I try not to throw up, okay? Try not to throw up. Let me see.
Okay, warning, guys, warning.
Yeah, you see, I'm being nice. This time I'm warning you guys.
And of course, you need to stay in shape because you are a big actress in Hollywood. Oh.
She's a big actress
in shape, and she's not a big actress in Hollywood. I mean, even her face, like, oh, no.
Are a big actress in Hollywood. Oh. Of course, you have very long hours sometimes. What do you do when you're on set and you need like an energy boost? What's your go-to trick?
Definitely a green juice. I mean, I think trying to go for coffee or things like that only end up hurting you at the end. So to get like a really good natural source of energy, like a great green juice or even kombucha I'll have sometimes, something that just gets...
Now, didn't she invest in Clever Blends that's filled with lead?
Yeah, she sure did. I mean, she goes wherever the money goes, right? She's that type of person.
And you know what? I really want to bring these things out, Molly, because I was actually telling the Royal News Flash the reason, because I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, why did she get away with everything?" At the end of the day, there's zero accountability. Nobody's holding her accountable. Nobody's calling her out on any of her lies. Do you remember that thing in 2012, Molly, when she did that campaign for racism because she wanted to get herself on TV? And remember she had the shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? With the climate here in the United States, and with the racism, I'm able to navigate both sides. Bitch, you were navigating everything. So,
but I thought she wasn't treated like a Black woman until she got to the UK.
Yeah, and she accused the UK, and Molly, I really believe, and I know people are going to say, you're fucking racist. I don't care. But I really believe, guys, that why she hates the United Kingdom is because they celebrated the fact that she was mixed heritage, mixed race, and she didn't want to be reminded that she wasn't pure white. This is just my take on it. Okay, because
that's one of the issues. Yeah, that could have been one of the, like, I also think that the reason she didn't want to be in the UK anymore was because she wasn't hounded like Catherine and Diana, and that's what she wanted. She wanted to be chased down the roads like how they were hounded like the paparazzi. And when that didn't happen to her, it was like, okay, we need to go somewhere where I can make that happen for me. But yeah, I think you're right too about your point. She didn't want to be reminded that she was a mixed race girl marrying Harry, and it made her sick.
But what really bothers me, the part that really bothers me, Molly, is the fact that the mainstream media, we YouTubers, we don't have any resources, guys. And yet we're able to do a little quick search and literally contrast her stories, her ever-changing stories, and expose her. The press knows all of this, and they're still going along, not calling her out on very blatant public lies, culminating in the 43% Nigerian, which is absolute BS.
Well, girl, we saw how the other day Richard K just made up some blatant BS and wrote it in the Daily Mail about how Prince William didn't go on the bus with the other patrons at the Duke of Westminster's wedding.
That's a
We
lie.
have video. Yeah, we have video. I covered when I did my live with Andrew on Monday. We spoke about that and we even showed the footage. But the fact that they make up blatant lies about William, it just makes me wonder, like, were they doing that just to make Harry's case? Because Harry has the case against the Home Office still about his security. And he even said, like, he wouldn't go on the bus during the coronation. Remember, he had to show up on his own 15 minutes later. But then we all see William, the next heir to the throne, get on the bus. Get onto the bus with everyone else. Like, that just blows Harry's case out of the water. But then Richard Kay, who's on Palace Confidential, goes and spouts a blatant lie about William. How are we supposed to trust what he says? How are we supposed to watch something like Palace Confidential and believe what they are saying when they will have someone who just blatantly makes up BS like that?
It wasn't Palace Confidential that he said it?
No, he regularly goes on Palace Confidential. He's a guest on there.
Yeah. Oh, but he said it there. That's what I mean.
No, he said it on the Daily Mail. He wrote a Daily Mail article, and it was the like big title print. It was ridiculous.
Why do they do that? You know, and this is the thing, because one of the main things that people tell me, we're fed up. Why do they? And I said, they allowed this. And now that they're officially being called HRH and there's no pushback from the palace, that they're just going to be officially called HRH anywhere they go.
Well, I feel like that's the whole reason why Harry's going ahead with the whole security thing too, is because when in February, that other judge said, no, you have no give in this case, like just drop it already. I feel like Harry basically wants to keep going ahead with this security case so that he can get other countries to pay for that level of security with the convoy of vehicles and police protection, but to get other countries to pay for it while they are on this worldwide privacy tour, pretending that they are royals still.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because that's what they want.
Bring them back? Do you think they're on their way? Because we saw the articles now saying that how Charles, and this is another thing I talked about, because that article that came out that said Charles is desperate to forge a bond with his 2 grandchildren, and that he has spoken to them in video calls. And the reason, but I think that the reason why they're putting this out right now, Molly, is because people like you and I and everybody else have been calling them out and want more proof. So by them saying that Charles has spoken to them and seen them.
Who put that out, though? William,
it's in the Daily Mail and all the newspapers. It's in all the newspapers, Molly.
No, I know, but that's just BS that they're putting out there. Or is it Harry and Meghan's team feeding this BS? Because I bet you it's not the palace saying that. I highly doubt that King Charles wants to see artificial and invisible. He's dealing with his own things right now. He's dealing with his own issues. I feel like a part of me sometimes wonders if Harry and Meghan put out these pieces about King Charles to make him appear weaker to the public, so that we do hate on him more, so that we do get angry and say, come on, Charles, grow a backbone and do something already, right? I feel like they're doing that to make him look worse and weak to the public, because he's not doing anything.
But he's not. That's a fact. And
he's not.
He can do something, guys. He can issue a little letters patent. Doesn't have to be long, and saying that Harry can only use his royal titles for royal official engagements. And that's the end of. He doesn't even need to take them away. He just can say, you can only use all royal titles for official engagement, royal official engagement. Other than that, you are Mr. Henry Charles Albert David Sussex, if you want to call yourself Sussex, or Windsor, Mountbatten Windsor, but that's all he has to do. And
are we forgetting that Meghan and Harry, what happened to just call me Harry the whole time he was in the UK? Just call me Harry. Oh, we want a private life. Oh, what? They went to the US and saw private life isn't fitting for them, so now they need to leech off the titles after
what private life? They've been
after they called the royal family racist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, He looks
The
so
queen, you know, and that
stupid,
really
and
upset me
so
about what
does
they did to the queen. They really upset me about the queen because the queen,
well,
you know, that I found out that she knew that she had cancer at the end of 2019. She knew she was battling that and her husband was dying.
girl, anyone's life at the end is gonna be hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the queen, but also the queen had the power to do something then too,
Yeah.
and she
I did
didn't.
I did do videos criticizing her, but then I thought, you know, she's 90 something. She's probably thinking about cancer. She's probably dealing with COVID. And I guess part of her thought, you know, at the end of her life, but also she did hand over a lot of administrative stuff to Charles. It wasn't the Queen who opened who created the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. It was actually the now King Charles, who created that trust 1 month prior to Harry and Meghan getting married and made them president and vice president. It was called the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, but it was actually him who it was his idea and he created it. And it's
Well, they
backfired.
basically started a foundation that would be a good look for Harry and Meghan because Harry had a nice mixed race girl, and this would make the royal family bring them into the modern time. Like, oh, look, they're not just an all white family, blah, blah, blah. They did this because they said, oh, it would be a good look for Harry and Meghan. The royal family did a lot to help out Harry and Meghan. As much as Harry and Meghan want to say, we were never helped out. I always laugh when the Sussex Squad post like lists of everything that the royal family did. Oh, Meghan is the only girlfriend or wife who's been on the Queen's train with her. Catherine even hasn't had that privilege yet. Well, yeah, well, then you see that the royal family did everything to welcome her in, and you guys are still complaining that they never helped her.
No, I mean, the Queen did. I mean, they even invited Doria before they were married, remember? And even Catherine wasn't allowed to bring her family or anything like that. Catherine did
No.
Queen's train forever. I mean, Catherine was like, I don't know how long she was already when she went up.
Like, does that not baffle you? Does that not baffle you? The fact that they were so open and welcoming to a con artist and a fucking yacht girl? Is the royal family so weak that they just open their arms and allow a con artist, Cell Block 6 Doria, junkie Doria, into their homes? Like, here, come on. And the king was holding her hand and being so sweet to her and all that. You literally allowed an ex-con and a hooker into the palace. And now you wonder why all of this is happening? But
you know, they took the clown out of the circus, but and brought it to a castle. But instead of the clown becoming a princess, the castle became a circus. You know, that's
it is. It is a circus. Like, you're trying to tell me you were so hard on the Middleton family. And they have shown over and over again that how trustworthy they are. We have never heard, ever since Catherine and William have started dating, we have never heard anything from any of their friends, family. Maybe Uncle Gary has run his mouth, but nobody really pays attention to him. Who cares, right? But realistically, the moment Meghan Markle fell on Harry's wiener was when the leaks started beginning, was when all the leaks started. Even, what's her name? Shallon Lester even said it. There were no leaks. Nobody could get any information about the palace until Meghan Markle went there. And then it was leaking like crazy. Just like I always say, we never heard anything about William and Catherine's relationship. And then Meghan Markle joins the family and all of a sudden William is cheating on Catherine and all this bullshit. Now, you know, that's straight up American trash gossip.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That Giles Goring guy, he started that rumor after he hung out with Meghan Markle and Harry in Amsterdam after they were married and they went to this Soho house. I have the tweet here where he said, I only hung around with her in Budapest and then in Amsterdam at a party. And he posted that tweet after that party. And I have it here, guys, because I was going to do a video about it. It says, Giles Goring, I met her once at Soho House, Istanbul. Remember when they flew her all the way from California?
Oh, yeah, 48 hours in Istanbul.
Yeah, before she met Harry. And once at Soho House, Amsterdam, after she met him. We exchanged only pleasantries. I never met him. I am not on their team. If anything, I am Team Wales. The thing that is endlessly quoted about an affair was a joke. But he did it one weekend, within 4 days after joining that party when Meghan was supposed to be pregnant, remember? Because that was in October, at the end of September or the beginning of October. And Eugenie got married the 14th or 16th of October. So Meghan was supposed 3 months pregnant, and yet she was seen drinking and partying at that party on Soho House in Amsterdam. I mean, make sense. I don't get it.
Well, she was never pregnant. Let's just like, I put up a video last night on my YouTube channel saying, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Prove me the fuck wrong. Yes.
Prove me wrong. I mean, I said it, Meg, if she was pregnant, we would never hear the end of it. She would have been merching every single cream, stretch mark cream, whatever. Like, you're trying to tell me she didn't talk about prenatal yoga. She didn't talk about any of that. Like, let's talk about this. Most women in Hollywood, when they get pregnant, like the Demi Moores, the Brooke Shields and all that, they were always like, oh, it's such a feminine feeling to have a life growing into. It's such a powerful feeling as a woman to be doing something like that. And yet Meghan Markle didn't do any of that. She didn't pose. We saw how Hollywood women pose with their belly bumps hanging out, showing their selfies, their mirror selfies. None of that from her.
And not only that, Molly, I'm surprised because you know that Princess Diana and Princess Catherine, they suffer from serious nauseas, at the beginning. I am surprised she didn't use that at the beginning. I'm also very nauseous or talk about it. Not one story on Netflix, nor Harry's book or any interview about any little anecdote about, when the baby kicked or nothing, nothing, not even, I was sick, I was sick, I had that, nothing. And this is a woman who talks about how much she poops outside. I mean, she goes into such minutia, how she over shares, and yet she couldn't share anything. I remember when I felt my son kick or my kitten, nothing, not even in the book, not even to say something like in the book, to sell it. Harry talks about his Todger, but he won't talk with Meghan Markle what kind of craving she had or anything like that.
Look, the fact that Meghan Markle there's a photo that I posted in my community tab on YouTube, and it's a photo of William and Catherine when they had George standing outside of the Lindo wing. But it's from the angle of the back of them where you can see the entire press, right? You can see all of the photographers there. Pull up that. It's on my YouTube community.
I'm gonna try and go there. Let me see.
So,
okay.
And you just think like, this Meghan, who is the type of woman who does everything to be like Diana 2.0, but fails miserably. You're trying to tell me she didn't want to have this opportunity?
I know, Molly, that's the same thing so many times, people go, oh, you're just stupid.
You're trying to tell me she didn't want this? Why wouldn't
about it?
This was a huge red flag. This was a huge red flag. You didn't want to show your kid because why? Because you did not give birth to those kids. You did not give birth to Archofficial. End of. And prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, I'm saying. I know they're listening.
It's so funny too, Molly, because this is the woman who, according to Harry, within an hour, because remember he said that they were back to Frogmore Cottage within 2 hours of Archie being born. That's exactly pretty much what he says. We were back to Frogmore within 2 hours of Archie's birth, right? And I'm like, okay, that means that if you think about it, the child is born, they smack his ass. They don't even test him for jaundice or any regular test that they would do to a child.
Paula, the test alone when you have a newborn take about 2 hours. All the tests have to run on them, the blood work, they check their lungs and everything.
Especially a royal child from a geriatric woman who, according to Harry, had a complicated birth.
For a first, apparently in Spare, Harry claims that the cord was wrapped around the baby's head, and Harry says, push, my love, push. Now, number one, you wouldn't be doing that because then you would have that cord wrap around even tighter. I mean, who are these two idiots thinking that they are fooling?
And
I'm
not only that, Molly, wasn't he high on gas, laughing gas, by his own admission?
He claimed that he snuffed the entire canister of gas. You know how much gas is in that thing? Like when I went into labor, because like I always say this, I was pregnant at the same time as Meghan Markle. I always say this, so I know exactly what happened. I gave birth to my little one. I think it was a few weeks after the stork dropped off Archie to them. I mean, I had laughing gas. I was in labor for over 19 hours, okay, alone. I was in labor for over 19 hours. And when I had the laughing gas, after 6 hours, that laughing gas starts to hurt your throat. It feels scratchy. Like you feel like you have like you almost have strep throat if you use it too much. So for him to say that he had a whole canister of gas is complete BS. Complete BS. Yeah. Even Harry saying that they ate before they went. When Meghan was in labor, they stopped off and had a picnic and they ate a whole bunch of food. You would not be eating food. Like food, when my contractions started, food was the last thing on my mind. First of all, I was like, are these actually contractions? Because they actually hurt and they're happening so quick. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to get my stuff together, right? And go. But then it's like, you're just like, what the hell? Like their stories doesn't make sense. And I'm offended that the royal family is like thinking like the public is so stupid to fall for this BS. You've let it go on long enough, right?
No, I agree with you, but then what he says is that basically within an hour they must have gotten in the car, because Frogmore Cottage is, if you're driving full speed without stopping at traffic lights or any, just like if you're racing from Portland to Frogmore Cottage, it's 40 minutes. But then they're not going to do that with a newborn, apparently, and with a woman who just gave birth, even if she's in an epidural. So they want us to believe that Meghan Markle got up and walked within an hour of giving birth to the child after having an epidural. And then they took the picture that they showed on People's Magazine, and that they were just arrived to Frogmore. That's their first official picture with the dog and Doria.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is the thing. We go back to what I think it really upsets me, that the press is not calling this bullshit out, that the press is not helping us YouTubers ask for those documents or question that even more. And if anything, whenever we start getting closer to this, they try to denigrate you. Pardon me?
Can I stop you there for a second? If any of those reporters came and asked me for information, I would tell them to go sit on their fist and rotate. I would not give them my information because number one, you guys
our information. I mean, they should also be asking
information. They take our information and our stuff that we put in our videos and they make articles about it.
Yes. No, I know. I don't mean for them to take our information.
No, I know what you mean.
Also get on the bandwagon and start also calling this out, and they do their own journalistic crap. You know what I mean? Instead of making us look like idiots or even denigrate us, like, oh, there's conspiracy theories. You know what? Those are valid questions. Those are not conspiracy theories. These are valid. Molly, I have the email from Parliament telling me, and they specify, to be clear, we have no record of where Archie was born or which doctors. This is Parliament, the government body who is charged, who is responsible for making sure that the people in the line of succession meet the legal requirements. One of them is that they were married. It's very clear. The Succession Act hasn't been, those 4 parts haven't changed. It has to be a legitimate marriage by the Church of England, 1, between a man and a woman, 2, 3, the child has to be naturally conceived, no artificial insemination or anything like that. And 4, it has to come from the woman's body. Those 4 things are still there to date. And I know this because they debated this when they modified the Marriages Act in 2013, because when they allowed the same-sex marriage, So they debated long and hard to see if that would affect in any way, shape, or form the Succession Act, that they had to take that into consideration. They said, no, it doesn't. So if all of that was debated, So for the royal marriages, there's a different set of rules than for us people, you know. Andrew, my love. Hello, Andy. How are you?
Hello.
Andrew. Hi.
Hello.
Maurice was saying something here. Hold on. There's a couple of chats that I wanted to read out here.
Oh
Real
yeah,
quick.
I can highlight them because they're on your channel. So can you highlight them? I was going to tell you, but I didn't
I'm
want to.
trying, but it's not coming up. But Teresa Holtham, thank you. She says
How can I
plastic
put them?
women.
How can I highlight them? Because I've been trying to highlight them, but they're in your channel. Let me see. Let me see
It's
what.
okay.
No, I need to highlight them because it's people need to know the questions. Plastic. Teresa Holton says plastic. She gave you £5. Awesome. Plastic woman would have loved to pose for a baby hospital picture. And then we have Julie who gave you 10 Canadian dollars. Thanks for that, Julie. Molly, did you see the photo from Prince Louis's christening? Everybody was wearing blue and white, but Meghan refused and wore an olive green outfit. Harry looks pissed too. She did it to stand out.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that was this one. Can you guys see it? That was this one right here.
How did you do that? You have to teach me how to do all of that, Molly. My goodness.
I just figured it out. I was just playing with it. I just figured it out.
Olive green. She looks like a turd.
I call that meconium green because it looks
brown. She looks like a turd.
You know when you give birth to a child and your baby has that first sticky, gross poop? That
I remember that. Yeah.
Color. It reminds, doesn't it? It's called meconium. I call it But yeah, even Harry, but this showed how much of like a bitch she was right at the beginning, because even Harry showed up wearing a blue scarf. She's the only idiot. I don't even know why Catherine allowed her to be in the photo, because she really had no right to be in the photo. They weren't even, were they married? They weren't even married then, right?
She had to allow her, because if she didn't, then Meghan would be able to say, oh, Catherine was mean to me.
True. They were not married. They were not married.
They weren't married at the time. So she shouldn't have even been there. She wasn't even invited, but she tagged along and she like showed up that way that day. She showed up that day. She wasn't invited to this.
And but you know, this is the thing that really, because people don't understand that high treason, there's felony treason, and felony treason is when you commit a crime against the monarch. But high treason is, for example, anybody who tries to interfere with the legally established line of succession. That means that includes the monarch. If the monarch is involved in, I've been saying this for years, if the monarch is involved in this is not even an if, and, or but. There's nothing to the debate in Parliament, because that's high treason. If you try to tamper with the legitimately established line of succession.
I'm wrong. Hold on a second. I was wrong. They were just newly married. I looked up the date. They were newly married. Yeah,
you're correct in that. But and because by them including 2 illegitimate children, and I say illegitimate because we haven't proven that those children belong there. And Parliament said to me in an email, we don't have any documents, but we included them anyways because we take their word for it. Okay, that is, and if it's proven that those children actually don't have documentation for that, then that is also on the monarch. You know, the monarchy, that means that they were colluding with Harry and Meghan and knowingly introduced those children in the line of succession, which is insane. I mean, I don't understand why people are so against trying to find out, and they say that we trust the children when we ask for those documents. I'm not calling anything on the children. I've never commented on their appearances or not or anything.
Well, Paula, it's because when you call that out, they take it as an attack on the royal family, and you're talking about staunch royalists, but the issue that I have with that is what you're talking about, right? What we said in the private chat. You're talking about what the other people brought up, and all of a sudden now they're saying it, and you've been saying it for what, 2 years? And now that other people say it, now all of a sudden it's great. But here's the thing: when you really look at the situation, and when this scandal breaks, who's going to be blamed?
Charles, because he's the head of the family.
That's what I'm saying. Or will they even try and do a blame game? And will they try and say, well, we didn't know anything about it? That would be the best move. We didn't know anything about it. We didn't even want to bother with them. We let Meghan do whatever she wanted to do. And if I was the royal family, I'd be like, no, that woman is crazy and it's all her fault. Don't even look at us.
Yeah, I wonder if Meghan is going to claim ignorance. But you know what? Because I've been looking, I read somebody did a video, but I can't remember who the fuck it was. They said that Harry, that the reason why the judge is allowing Harry to to appeal is because apparently Harry claimed that he didn't know that the rules had changed for that, right? And then I remember when I was going through everything in my trials and everything, they said ignorance is not a legal defense. If the law was published or everything is in public domain, it's not their responsibility to ensure that you read it. You know what I mean?
You know what? This judge, this Justice Bean, this guy that's allowed the appeal to go forward, I think he needs to get looked at. I really think he needs to get looked at, because if the other judge already said, okay, there's no point in this, why is this other judge coming in saying, oh, well, no, Ravek did something wrong and Harry does actually have a case. So they're trying to make Ravek look bad. I feel like just like that judge that was in the Johnny Depp case in the UK who was very sketchy, I think they need to take a look at this justice and see if he has any connections to Harry's solicitors.
Absolutely. I mean, and the fact that he's allowing him on the slim chance that he didn't know it's a technicality, but that is not a technicality.
No,
the fact that the law was out there and they have modified their things, and nobody bothered to inform Harry. They didn't have to inform Harry because Harry's not part of the process of decision making process of Ravik. Harry's not part. The parties are not involved in that. Ravik has their own internal procedure based on
that he gets to tell Ravik how to do their job. Harry thinks that he's in that position, that he gets to tell people how to do their job and what he deserves because he's Prince Harry. That's what it
Prince
is.
client. But Paula, this is also connected, right, to the IPP, correct?
Yes, this is connected to the IPP.
So that's why I truly feel, I mean, of course, the security, we've seen it already with these last few times when he's gone to the UK, and even when he was in Nigeria, he still received security. So I think that the security is just a distraction. What he wants, what he's going after is the IPP, because that comes with so many things that he could use to his advantage. And also, since they said in the court he wanted it moved up to July, because they are planning these fake royal tours.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Andrew, and I wanted to talk about that thing about that, because I want you to explain to me. I reposted your video. As soon as I saw it, I reposted it about the African elephants. Can you explain a little bit what's happened? Because I know that Harry helped. There was the largest displacement of animals, and you don't do that with elephants. They're used to their environment and stuff like that. Can you tell us what it is?
What happened was, the report that I had found was from back in 2016, and it said that he moved almost 300 elephants from one area to another because he wanted them to have more room. That's the way he literally put it. Oh, they don't have enough room as they used to. So then what has happened now is those same elephants have apparently killed people, and they've trampled. And I read the story. It was one woman that she was killed by those elephants. And even in the story, it tried to say that Harry wasn't a part of it. In that report, it tried to say that Harry wasn't a part of it. So I had to show the people that there was the other report from, almost 10 years ago, showing that he was. It was because of him. He was the reason that those elephants were there in the first place. And I think it's just so he can look good. He wanted to say, oh, I helped them and I helped these elephants. Well, you obviously didn't help the people.
Yeah, that is true, and I wanted to tell you something, because people don't understand. They're doing the same thing to the Baka people, saying that they are terrorists, and they classify them as terrorists so nobody would help them, And I wanted to show you guys something, because Molly, you've talked about Misan Harriman with Boris Becker in 2014. And actually there's an article, Misan Harriman, talking that he had organized a polo game where William and Harry showed up, and Boris Becker was there. But I want to show you something that I found. I think you also had this, Molly, too. Celebrities Boris Becker and wife Lily Kirstenberg and Meghan Markle at the Markor Hotel. They're in town in relation to the One Young World Conference, Dublin, Ireland. This is in 2014, guys. So I wonder if she knew Misan Harriman from before.
A part of me wonders that also.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past, like Andrew says. I wouldn't doubt it, because Boris Becker was also the one who introduced Meghan to Gina, her PR person who got her in connection with the other people. He was the one that put her to that PR agency, and then Meghan ghosted her after.
Yeah, and then Boris Becker, didn't Misan Harriman cost Boris Becker $100 million?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. He told him to go and put some money into some Nigerian oil thing, and it went complete bust, and he lost over 100 million pounds. Yeah.
I
And
couldn't
then
imagine. Look, I'm sorry when I say this to this Boris guy. I could not imagine listening to any of these people for financial advice. I just
Yeah,
couldn't.
I don't understand
That
that.
is insane to me. You're gonna listen to this guy and MeghansMole. Didn't you say that he lost money as well? Like he failed out of the banking industry.
Yeah.
I
Misan
couldn't
used to,
imagine that.
like, it's all been wiped now. Like, you can't find any information about him having anything to do with banking. But when the whole COVID and everything was happening, like, he got into some serious banking issues, and he, got out of the banking thing and became, a world-class photographer on the same level as Mario Testino, apparently.
You're kidding. That guy is such a moron, you know, like he really is a moron. But I
His
just started thinking,
His photographs remind me of like when I was in grade 10 and I was just picking up photography class. That's what his photos remind me of, just basic level photographs. There's nothing special. It doesn't invoke anything. Just because you put a black and white filter over it doesn't mean it's going to make it all sentimental and special. It's a pile of crap. That's it.
I know.
He does that. He does that because the pictures look bad, right? That's why he always has black and white.
Yeah,
No,
because
I'm not joking around. I'm serious.
It's easier to hide flaws in black and white because you
Right?
don't get
I knew it.
hiding and everything. For example, if it were a color picture, you would see Harry's baldness, you would see Meghan Markle's wrinkles. But when you do black and white, a lot of the detail is lost and the lighting is different. This is why it gets darker. The further away you are from the center focus of light, the darker it looks. This is why Harry looks like, if you look at it, as the light goes up, Harry's hair is like, you think he has a full set of hairs, you know? Yeah. So that's what happens with that. The light gets focused in a specific area and everything else around it loses detail, which is why he did black and white. You know, I know because I took photography in London. One whole year photography was actually quite brilliant. I loved it. It's one of my favorite things. But I wanted us to listen to this, guys. And I just thought it was funny as fuck. Let me see.
Wait, so is there one go-to rule? Is there like this thing that every woman, if they're watching, they should be like, oh, that's the thing I should do if I want to, like, you know, dial up my personal style?
Oh God, well, I think the most important thing you can do is tailoring. You know, no matter what you have in your closet.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Listen.
You think that it's not going to make a big impact, but if it fits you to a T, you look a million times better. And I learned that working on suits.
How would you describe your personal style?
Well, you know, for me, it's still that California girl relaxed. I like to look polished and put together.
I'm going to show you Miss Polish and put together right now.
She pays a lot of money to look so bad. That's what it is.
Look at this. This is how polished and put together. She's going to a wedding, a serious event, guys.
That looks like a curtain off of a window.
What did you say, Andrew?
That looks like a curtain off of a window.
And a wrinkled one at that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to show something because people don't know. A lot of people don't know how this dress is supposed to look. So I'm going to show you guys how this dress is supposed to look. That's the dress that Meghan Markle wore. You see here, it's supposed to be loose around. It's supposed to be like a flowy skirt, right? I finally found out because I didn't understand what the hell was happening. She didn't buy this dress. But she sent to Carolina Herrera and they asked for the sizes, you know, because they always ask what size because you're going to return it. She said she was a size 2. And this is when she got it. This is why it looks so tight. Because, you know, like people were trying to get her to fit in there. And she looked like a really stuffed sausage. And I'm like, why is she looking like that? Look, you see that? You see that? Look how open this is here. Hello, Molly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Andre. Did you see that dress, what it looks like, right?
She looks like a blood clot. She looks like a walking period. Who wears red on red? You're walking a red carpet. Why are you? The thing that pissed me off the most about this, sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but she wore red to a veterans event. You don't wear red to a veterans event because it could trigger some people's PTSD and remind them of blood and stuff. There's certain colors you don't wear to a veterans event. This stupid idiot shows up looking like a human blood clot.
And you know what my question is? My question is why don't these things happen anymore? Like that video clip that you just saw, that you just played, Paula? Why hasn't she done an interview on Talk TV like that? Like, why haven't we seen her do this kind of thing? We haven't seen anything like this. Why are these people literally hiding, if they still live there? Why are they literally hiding in this Montecito mansion away from the world? You would think if they want to turn around their image, if they actually do, then you would go out and be seen. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And I mean, you weren't here when we played the one with the coffee where they're asking, they said to her that she's a big Hollywood star. And she's like, and then they say, what was your go-to drink? And she goes, a green drink, because definitely not coffee. And then we have her invested in Clever Blends, which is full of lead. But I mean, to me, this is a woman. And all of these things that I'm putting out there, I don't even need a budget for that, because look at this, the newspapers, right? The newspapers don't even want to do the research, because I go back to that live I did with Matthew Steeples on the Ron's channel, where he says that the reason why the papers don't do that is because they don't have a budget. I don't need a budget to Google this shit. They
don't do what?
They don't call her out in the lies and stuff, or stuff that she said in the past, and they call her in public.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, but look at this woman. Somebody please tell me. And I saw what you did with this, Molly. Somebody please tell me, for fuck's sake, somebody please tell me that this woman is pregnant. Can look at us with a straight face and say that this woman is pregnant.
No. Nope. Let me send you a photo if I can here.
I have another one here sitting down here. See? Where's the belly? Where is that belly? I mean, so when you sit down and you're pregnant, your belly expands. It doesn't go inside.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's a scam.
Press here, Paula. I've sent one to your WhatsApp. Pull this one up. Pull this one up. Oh
my God, this is too brutal.
My video. I put this in my yesterday's video or last night. Pull that up.
I love this. Yes, I'm going to pull it up right now. I just downloaded it and I'm going to pull it up right now, see where I can find it, because I have this thing on the computer. I mean, I ask people, and this is the thing, I ask people to tell me that this woman here, that she's pregnant. How can this be? And you know why? Why do you think I'm just looking for the picture I downloaded. Why do you think she wore really tight clothes?
To keep the bump in place.
To what?
She's still vain. Like, she still wants her figure to be seen, even though she doesn't have one. She still wants her fit. Like, that's the whole point of not having a baby, because Meghan Markle is one of those actresses where she says to herself, a baby is not going to ruin this body. I mean, of course, if she can even have them at all. But it's vanity, pure vanity.
There. Somebody.
There's supposed to be a baby in there?
Yeah, that's the same belly that she showed up, like being this big, protruding on the. Look how it folds here. Look how it folds. And this is, you already saw how tight that dress is, right?
Oh yeah. My God.
That's a shame, honestly. That's a shame. And the real reason it's a shame is because you'd have that, like, let's say today, if she couldn't pull that off today with everyone knowing that she's a liar and a deceiver. The reason that she was able to pull that off is because people didn't know who she was then. And no one was going to call her out, especially a woman that's pregnant. You know that no one's going to call out a pregnant woman. That would look so bad on whoever tried to do that.
That's so great that you said it, because remember when she went on the Texas thing and she said, oh my God, and they attacked me when I was pregnant. That's because she went on Oprah and you lied through your fake veneers. And she did that on purpose, hoping that I'm going to use my pregnancy as a shield. Because how dare you call me out that I'm lying and defaming and slandering everybody else, and an old lady and her husband, and the entire family. How dare you? You are
Well,
right. She put on
yeah.
that.
Everything is a shield. You have to remember that. The black thing, that's a shield. The woman thing, that's a shield. The pregnancy thing, that's a shield. She tries to use all these shields so that way people can't call her out. And then when we do, what do the people do? What do her fans do? Because if you think about it, right, Paula, her fans don't actually defend her. Her fans don't actually make arguments for her. They just simply insult people who are talking. That's it. That's all they do.
Exposing her lies, and exposing her lies is not attacking her. It's calling you out for this can't you are. That's the thing but this is the thing and that's manipulative. By the way, Andrew, before I forget, Eminem is going to be in Texas in October. We need to talk about tickets because I want to go there. I want to go to there. But I just because I before I forget. But what?
Sorry. The chat is asking to show Andrew the video, the Craig Ferguson "Smell My Finger" video to get.
Yeah, I have your.
What?
We're gonna show. I have it here. I have it. You know that I always have your page.
We need to get an Andrew reaction.
Yeah, he's a man reaction. We can't play it because of this music because you have the music. But let's see if Andrew can talk about it with. Just by looking at it. I'm just going to scroll because I was going to show something. Oh, you have the one where she says she's black. Perfect, Molly. We're going to talk about that one.
Smelled his finger?
It's something. What was it? I went past it, I think. That's before. Oh, you have so much here now. That's Princess Catherine. That's the little kid. What did you do with that one? Because you have the moon bump. You have Oprah. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me see. They're doing a skit, right? They're doing a skit. When you watch this, so Andrew, they're doing a skit. She went on Jonathan, what's his name?
Craig Ferguson.
What the fuck can I do here? Okay, she went on Craig Ferguson, right? So let me share that here. And you would know what it is even without seeing it.
Yeah.
You're not.
Disgusting.
What am I doing? Oh, there. Watch.
No.
That means he fingered her at the very least.
No, Andrew's reaction. I need to know, Andrew.
Why would you?
They're supposed to be doing a funny skit, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. They're doing improv, right? It's like improv. I get it. She's still a horrible actress.
Moment. They're having an awkward moment.
But he smelled his finger. Why would you do that?
Is it because of how high her skirt is hiked up? So he's
fingered her.
That's so stupid.
But she didn't
That
even
is so
hesitate.
stupid. That's so. And then she just went along with it. Come on, that is so gross. Why would you even think of? I mean,
that whole interview was creepy as F.
Yeah, isn't that the interview where she talked about being able to speak French?
She talks about in every pretty place. She said that she spoke French in pretty much every interview. She talked about it and she said that she spoke French.
That's so gross, dude. Why would you do that? Oh, there's the moving belly.
Oh yeah. Look at, and people, you know what the sugar said? That this is photoshopped. That we're playing with the video.
It's on Getty Images. They can use their fingers. I know they don't like to exercise, but they can use their fingers and go look it up themselves. I love when they come to my page asking for proof. It's like, go do it yourself.
Me too. How do you know? Well, this matter of fact, I can't stand that bitch.
Oh yeah.
I really can't stand her. Guys, I wanted to show you something because I think we should start calling this crap out. I think it's absolutely disgusting what they're doing. This is the Sussex Squad. Did you know that they're doing deep fakes or AI about Princess Catherine and that she's missing or something like that? And let me see Sussex Squad here. Sussex Squad. They did this thing here. Where is it? Here.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So dumb.
I made my last public appearance with my family at their Sandringham estate in Norfolk, England. It has now been over 5 months and I have not been seen in public.
I mean, that is disgusting.
You know what it is? The fact that the Sussex Squad keep going on about how much they hate Catherine, but they've been constantly nonstop posting about her for the last, 7 months. They make AI videos of her. They make AI photos of her. It just shows you how obsessed they are with her. Why don't you go? I mean, this should be the time where their queen, Meghan Markle, is out in public, because this should be when she is supposed to be shining. She's supposed to be taking advantage of this moment when Catherine is sick and away. But what is she doing? So far, she's shown herself to be an absolute turd. She hasn't done anything.
They're in hiding. They're in hiding.
Articles that she's pregnant. That the third child is coming out. That's out, and how Charles misses the children, and how Charles has spoken. It's not enough for him to speak on video conference calls or whatever the fuck it is that they talk to, and that that he's seen him a handful of times, kind of like to say to all of us YouTubers, "You're stupid." The king has seen the children. You know,
we should all be asking, where are Archofficial and Invisibet, like I have been? Where are they? We all should just be doing, just be posting about that. Where are these children? Just start counteracting it. That's all.
No, when they asked me, where is Kate? I said she went looking for the Sussex children. She'll be back when she finds them.
Well, actually, that matter of fact girl, or fact, whatever is fat or fat, whichever one, that girl, she ran that conspiracy, right? And then the Houston Chronicle picked it up. So,
but
and then
said it's false. The Houston Chronicle said that it's false, that it's
no.
not true.
Go read the report that the Houston Chronicle put out. I put it in. I had a Substack on it. I did a piece on it yesterday. It said in the report that it was from Kensington Palace, that she was in Houston, and literally that's what the report said.
Perez Hilton reported on it. Perez Hilton reported on it on Instagram. He said, she's not there. Whoever's putting this out, she's not in Texas receiving treatment. And I'm like,
oh, I have the article here. So it says Kensington Palace has come forward to declare those rumors as false as of 3 hours ago.
Yeah, this is today. Yesterday, when the one that I read yesterday, I have it on my Substack. It said it was from Kensington Palace.
Yeah, it's because Matter of Fact and some other squaddies are like, oh, we saw her there. It's like everyone has cell phones. You saw Catherine there, but you didn't think to pull up your phone and take a photo or video. You guys who like to record everything.
Yeah, especially those Sussex Squad, you would think that they would take advantage. We saw her here. She's here. We were right.
But it just shows the strength of the Harkle PR and propaganda machine, that how easily they can just put out BS out there and it'll get picked up and run with. I mean, the whole Catherine thing, that was started by a Sussex squaddie claiming that she's deceased, and it ran with it, right? It was all over the place.
I also think that Meghan Markle is putting out those articles about her being pregnant because she wants to show what a superwoman she is, that she can still get pregnant at 43.
Paula, let me read what it said yesterday. This is from the Houston Chronicle yesterday about midday. A rumor that Kate Middleton is being, according to Kensington Palace, is being treated at the MD Anderson Center in Houston, according to Kensington Palace. And then you go on, and on my Substack, you see it here. The Matter of Fact girl, she literally has that Houston Reddit, and it says Kate Middleton, Princess of Wales, was at the St. Regis. So...
No, wait a minute. I'm confused. Didn't you say there was Matter of Fact who posted it? Why are you saying that it was Kensington?
It was on her. She posted it, and she posted it on her TikTok.
But the press is saying that it was the palace that released it.
Yeah, the press twisted it, saying that it was the palace, which is now why.
Okay, I was confused because I was like, so that she was right. So basically, she started the rumor, and then a newspaper picked it up and said that it was the palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we did something like that, my channel would be shut down and people would never come back to my channel if I did something like that, you know? But what do you think that Meghan Markle, because I was thinking, why is she putting out those rumors and stuff like that? Because either we're going to see a miscarriage because she doesn't have anything. Spotify called her a lazy fucking grifter and it failed. Lemonada, down. And Netflix, down. That arrow thing, nobody likes me, blah, 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 failed. That book bench failed. She's the most hated, infamous person pretty much on earth. What does she have left other than to say she's pregnant so she can continue doing her skanky stuff and then write another op-ed about how having a miscarriage is a stigma and she's breaking stigmas and burying it. I've never heard of a woman who had a miscarriage being stigmatized or, you know, and say, you know, you're a horrible person because you lost a child. Have you?
Girl, she's an idiot. She's an idiot. Meghan Markle is easily setting back women like 100 years. She thinks that we're back in the days of like pilgrims and living in caves, and men used to sling us over their shoulders and just take us into caves. And she thinks that we're back in those days.
Yeah. I can't even. And also, Paula, she got an award, remember, for only having 2 kids?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. And this is why I was talking. Is she going to get back the award? Because she was trying to diss Catherine and the Waleses by saying, oh, we only had 2 children because we care about the environment while they're traveling in private planes everywhere in the world, right? But we care, and they got an award. So now and this is what really bothers me, that all the articles go, oh, they're thinking of expanding. Are they going to give a sister or brother to Lily and Archie? But they don't talk about the award and the stuff that Meghan Markle and Harry said about how they were only going to have 2 children because, of course, the award. And I just think that Meghan is putting that out because she wants to show she's a superwoman. She's attractive. She's still doing it with Harry. As if. You know, as if. But I wanted to play this, guys, because I don't know if you saw this, Andy, but let's play. This is funny. This is from Wayne's World. And
Meghan Markle and Prince Hank, they have a new company, and it's called something very, not ostentatious. Oh, yeah, it is. American Riviera Orchard Jelly. It's just jelly?
That's a mouthful, and I'm not talking about the jelly.
You know what I think is an easier one? That's my jam. That's not bad, right?
That's all right.
That's my jam. It's quicker.
I would have named it They Hate Me Because I'm Mixed Race Jelly.
They hate me because I'm kind of a princess jelly.
They wouldn't give me a therapist when I needed it. Jelly.
Love those dudes.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Anyway, so we're gonna get going because Molly has to go, and I don't want to take much of your time. But we're gonna see you guys on Wednesday. We're gonna see you at the Royal Mess. Are you gonna be able to make the Royal Mess, Molly, this Friday?
I'm gonna try my bestest. It's just I don't know if you know, but my dog got hurt the other day.
I wanted to write to you about it because I saw you. What is he okay, Monster?
I actually, right before we got on the live, I got the phone call from the vet. They got his x-ray results back, and they're actually scheduling him in for an emergency surgery because I guess when he was running really fast, he must have tore a muscle or a ligament in his hind back leg because he's been limping really bad. So it's actually a lot worse. Like, I guess he's popped his patella out and he's ripped his muscles. So they put him on the list to go into an urgent orthopedic surgeon or something, or like a specialist surgeon for him. So I don't know how much that's going to cost, but yeah, it all depends on how Monster's doing and how he is feeling. But yeah, I'll try my best. I'll try my best.
City and I will be thinking and sending prayers to little Monster, guys. Well, she's asleep right now. As you can see, she's supervising me. But no, thank you very much to Andrew. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Andrew.
We'll see
We
you
love having a good-looking man on the channel, Andrew.
Oh,
such a stud. Look, a handsome man.
Put him in the center just to make him feel bad. Yes. Oh. We love you. Anyway. Bye, guys. Thanks so very much for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Let me see, guys. So please go subscribe to Molly. Go subscribe. Most of you were in her chat, so that's great. I apologize if I couldn't highlight the what's it called? The super chats, but they were made in her channel, so she has access to it. But I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do it. So let me see for people here. Teresa Holtham, if people they says when my baby bump was the size, my legs were not able to close that tight together. She would wear it. I absolutely agree with you. And I want to thank you all for coming here. Thanks very much for always coming and supporting us. Go support Andrew as well, and go support MeghansMole, and support anybody. Help us grow the community. And thank you very much, guys. You're amazing.